Hi, everyone. I want to thank you all for joining me on my first episode of Ask Spirit. Just give it a little bit for everybody to catch on. I wanted to explain why I did why we've developed this podcast. It's very important for me to give Spirit a platform that they can interact with you. Your questions, it's your podcast, it's Spirit's podcast. And we're here to dive into all those questions that we don't have the answers to. Every fortnight, we will discuss a different topic. The mysteries, we will open it up for yourself, the audience, to ask Spirit the questions directly. How this will go, I cannot say, because I am a physical medium as well as an evidential medium. So Spirit will either give me the messages, or at times they might come forward and speak. It would be amazing if they come forward and speak and they interact in that way. But who knows, as the podcast progresses. Sorry, I'm a wee bit nervous and I don't know why I'm nervous. As the podcast progresses, maybe Spirit will come forward more and more, because it's very much Spirit's podcast and your podcast. So this isn't just a podcast to listen to. This is something for you to be a part of. The questions that we all think, but we don't know the answers to. The questions about our world, the ones we don't understand, the ones we don't ask, the ones that sit just beyond our awareness. So tonight, we begin with one of the most amazing mysteries of all, and that is the Bermuda Triangle. So I just want to, hi Slunk, how are you? Hi Tiny. I have family in Australia, so it's lovely to have you join us. Hi Jacqueline. Hi Stacey, how are you? So I just want to say hi to everybody, and thank you all for joining me. This is very different to what it's different, but it's not different. I say that, but it's true. I do prophetic news with Marcus for Neutzer, and I hope I got that right, Marcus. But this is something that was very important for Spirit. I'm very much about teamwork and about the team. And Spirit loves to share those revelations and those secrets. And up to now, maybe we've never been ready to hear them, or we've just accepted what we've been told. Where Spirit always loves to come forward and they love to share the difference. And they love to, hi Marcus, you joined us. It's good to see you. I'm just saying, I hope I said your name correctly. So I do apologize if I said it wrong. So it is important. This podcast is not my podcast, but it is your podcast and Spirit's podcast. I am merely the conduit. So to begin, before we throw it open and for you all to ask your questions and see what Spirit is going to give you those answers to, let's talk a little bit about the Bermuda Triangle and some of the mysteries that surround it. So in 1918, the USS Cyclops, a very big ship. Hi, Arnie, how are you? Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing what Spirit's going to say, Arnie, so it's interesting. So yeah, the USS Cyclops, it was in 1918. It had 300 people on that ship. There was no storm. There was no warning. It leaves Barbados, and somewhere between departure and destination, it vanishes. No distress call, no wreckage, as if the ocean had taken it without a sound. 1921, a vessel is found, the Coral A. Deering. Not destroyed, and not lost. It was abandoned. Everything still exactly in place except the crew. No explanation, just a vacant boat. 1925, the SS Cotopaxi sends a signal, a warning, distress, and then nothing. Then it disappears. 1948, A. Douglas DC-3, approaching Miami, lands within reach. The land is within reach, but yet it disappears. 1949, the Star Ariel, clear skies, no warning, no distress, no trace. 1918, 1921, 1925, 1945, 1948, 1949, and yet of the same ending. Across these moments, there are patterns: navigation uncertainty, moments of disorientation, conditions that shift, maybe subtly, but they shift. An environment where sky, sea, and human perception has become a blur. It is a very busy traffic lane, but yet repeatedly something goes wrong. And when answers are not found, something else begins to emerge. Ideas, theories, possibilities. There may be unusual energy within this region that could act as a vortex. That time itself may not always have been expected. The oceans hold something we do not understand. None of these have been proven, but yet they continue, and we continue to ask, because the truth is something that cannot fully be explained. The question doesn't disappear, it deepens. So the question is no longer what happened. It becomes, what are we missing? And this is where it becomes part of you. Hi, Jennifer. It's really important that this podcast is not what we're being told to believe, but about exploring it, stepping it beyond the surface, asking those questions. So before I open it up to everybody and ask your questions and the questions you want to ask Spirit, I see Jennifer's on, and I was on with Jennifer last week, and we briefly talked about the first episode, which is Aaron. And Jennifer asked me, does Spirit have anything to share with me, anything to us to share about the Bermuda Triangle? And they told me time zones. And I can remember saying to Jennifer, they said something about time zones. So that was my question, and I wanted to ask Spirit about that. So I looked for patterns. I looked for mathematical patterns. I looked for comet alignment patterns. I looked for different patterns. And this is what I discovered from the questions that I felt that I was getting. These events do not follow a mathematical pattern, but they do form a pattern in time. Not evenly spaced, not predictable, but moments that seem to gather, then disappear, like something building and then it's releasing. When you stop and look for a simple number pattern, something more interesting appears. Nearly all of these famous losses happened in the same seasonal window. The dark months of the North Atlantic Ocean from January to March. Maybe Bermuda Triangle has a calendar of its own. What do you think, guys? Thank you, Arnie. Thank you. What is your take on the Bermuda Triangle? What questions have you got that you'd like to ask? I find it fascinating that so many, and they're not the only ones. I know I've listed some, but they're not the only ones that have disappeared. Before those, not a lot has been documented. Not a lot has been documented before the 1918. There is post World War One, but this has been going on for a long time. We don't know why. We don't know the answers. So we've got Flight 19. They couldn't find their way back, and they did give a radio signal, and they said in their radio signal that they could also be a dimensional rift. Let me ask, Arnie. Okay, guys, we've got our first question. Arnie would like to know, could the Bermuda Triangle also be a dimensional rift, please? Okay, Spirit are saying it's a timeline, crossing paths, multiple dimensions. The ocean comes up. And it opens. What do you mean by that, please? Can I ask you what you mean by that? You said the oceans come up and it opens. So could you share some more light, please, on what we're talking about? Arnie's talking about a dimensional rift. Slides. Arnie, do you understand? They've said, yes, Arnie, it slides. Slides. Go ahead, please. What else were you going to say there? It's very important people understand, Spirit are saying that there's two sides to this. Timelines is important. So when we talked about the seasons there, can I ask, please, Spirit, are you meaning like the different seasons as part of it? Okay. They're saying it's part of it. What? Okay. Please, we'd like to also ask, what triggers the causes? What triggers the causes? The rift to open? Parallel separates it. We understand they're saying lots below the ocean. Go ahead, please. Okay, so they're talking. The ocean floor is not the ocean floor. The ocean floor is as we see it, but there's so much more depth to it. The patterns, the shift, the seasons, the timelines, the time zones are very relevant. With the movement. Is the inner earth having a part in it? Can we talk? There are many layers. There are many layers. People don't understand. It's too vast for people to understand. Well, we want to understand, guys. So we're asking these questions. Please, can we talk about what would you like to help explain to us deeper? What do we not understand? The parallels, okay. The frequencies, the parallels, overlaps. Okay. I'll go ahead. What else? The depth is not the depth. The depth is hidden. Is it part of inner earth? Is inner earth having a part of it? Many layers, many layers. Many layers. Go ahead. Division. The seas have division. The seas have division. Is it vortex, portal, or vibration to another world, another realm? Yes, to many realms. It's like a lift. They've just said it's like a lift. You can go up or you can go down. But they're not talking about drowning or anything like that. It's like a lift. It's like like suction, go up or down. Why can we? What? How do we know? Do we choose up or down, or why is it up and down? Depending on when the slides open. Depending on when the slides open. Many have been lost from this world, but not lost. Worlds continue to intertwine. The people on the boat we talked about, the people on the boat that was missing, but the boat was there, they're on a different timeline. They're now on a different timeline. There's several different timelines, all intertwine. And they talk about a magnet. Go ahead, what about the magnet, please? The magnet. That's very interesting. What about the magnet? The magnet works on frequencies and vibrations, not on metals. It's not to do with, it's not like, it's not what's just like disappearing the vessels. They're being encompassed. It's like so the spirit are showing me like this. I nearly want to say like a tube, like this tube, and they can go up or they can go down. And spirit's very much. So the time zones, when they talk about the January to March, and a lot of these spirits saying there was other dates not recorded. That summertime is very different. So could it be an equinox in time where different versions of self can converge with other selves and move to another lifetime? I just got yes. As soon as I read that, spirit straight away said yes. Wormhole. They're lost, but they're not lost. They're lost from this world, but they're not lost. And I understand we're very spiritual and life continues on, but I want to clarify what you just said to me there. Life continues, that continues on. So multidimensional. That's very interesting. So I have not researched this at all. And it's something I have to look up afterwards. But do you know, at the moment, there's a lot happening with the northern lights and the lights in the sky and the way everything is very vibrant. And we've been seeing a lot of that. Spirit are connecting this in with the Bermuda Triangle, only they're doing it in a sense of frequency, not colors, but frequencies. Hiya, how are you doing? You're grand. It's good to have you. You're saying wormhole. Thank you, Evelyn. So you're saying wormhole, Arnie, and I'm being shown like a tube. It's like a virtual tube. It's encompassing. Please, can I ask how some going up and some going down, please? Oh. Okay, so when I asked Spirit that question, Spirit said to me, some go up and some go down. When I asked them why the difference. So Arnie, you'll like this. So the tube that Spirit are showing me, it's exactly like a lift. You can go down, but also those who are down can go up. Hi, Claire. It's with a lift, but it's not a lift. It's a lift, but it's made of it's not a solid lift. It's like there's no water inside this lift. It's a tube, but it's a tube made of frequency. It's a tube. It's not a solid tube, but yet there's nothing inside it. There's nothing inside the tube. Those also, there's other dimensions use this. This is like a lift from multiple dimensions that takes you to different places. So the timelines are important because there's many timelines crossing paths. Many timelines crossing paths. Said yes, now you're getting it. Okay. Go ahead. What else? Has anybody else any questions you'd like to ask? I'm finding this very intriguing. Go ahead. Share some more about the Bermuda Triangle with us, please. What can you share with us that isn't out there, that isn't known? The military know about it. The governments know about it. It's not a secret. To use, it's a secret. It's not a secret. There's so, well, I get that. They're saying there's so much more. Our governments know, and there's so much more. There's so much more. So, people, ships, planes lost. Has anything ever come through here? Yes. Spirit has said yes. Many. There's many people. That's a really good question. Go ahead, please, Spirit. Sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. What were you going to say there? This is like a channel. This is like, okay. This is like us going to, the best way I could explain it is it's like us in an apartment, getting the lift to the top floor, getting the lift to the bottom floor, or you go on the different levels. This is like, there's many use this, multidimensionals use this. Ones come down and ones go up. It's like, I understand you're saying shipping channel. I understand you're saying it's a shipping channel, but do you mean as in like the traffic that's going up and down this? Yeah, there's multiple traffic. Yes. The governments have been working with this. They've just said the government has been working. Oh, they just said the government has tried a spiritual elevator. Yes, Arnie, you got the words. I didn't get that. That's exactly what I'm trying to explain. Yes, exactly. Spiritual elevator. Our governments have tried this. That's a perfect way to put it, a spiritual elevator. That's, yeah, but it's multiple use. In what way, please? Please explain, what way do you mean in multiple use? Arnie's hit the ball. He's saying that's exactly the best way to describe it, a spiritual. Oh, okay. It's not just spiritual, it's multidimensional. Not of this world always. It's not all human form. Not all human form use it. What about the people? Are they all still together? No. Well, where did they go, please? So as you, that's a great question, Jacqueline. And as you, I ask that, I'm seeing like ripples. It's like they're showing me like ripples, and it's like people are being, as the ripples spread, they're talking about spread. Non-human entities, other technologies, future and past, absolutely, absolutely. Much deeper than we could ever imagine. Ever imagine. Oh, okay. Time travel? Yes, it does exist, they said. Yes, it does exist. No, Jennifer. When I read your question, Spirit said no. They would not have aged. No. So if they wouldn't have aged, can you explain to us and the audience, why would they not have aged? And if they wouldn't have aged, what happened to, what can you explain in more detail for us that we can share, please? So they're saying anybody can use this. There's more than the Bermuda Triangle. These are scattered across the world. That's good. We're going to get into that some week. Can I ask why would the people not have aged? Because they're shifting. I'm not understanding why they wouldn't have aged. That's a really good question, and I'm trying to understand what they want me to explain about that. So why would they not have aged? That's really important. Why they can't reappear? What? Okay, why can they not reappear? Spirit saying they can't reappear, and I'm asking why. Okay. Let me do the first bit first. Okay. So when they get moved in this parallel world, go ahead. They were trying to tell me too much at once there. Okay, so when they get moved into that parallel world, okay, they can't come back. They have followed that shift. They didn't intentionally do that shift, if that makes sense. They didn't choose to make that shift. They were in the right place at the right time for that to happen. Okay, they went through that, so they didn't know that they didn't know they were going through that, so they don't know how to get back. Do you know what I mean? But with the spiritual elevator, there's many use it who do know it's an elevator and can come back and forth. It's like an elevator with many layers. And they also said, okay, please slow down. They're also saying about the people on the ship where there was 300 people gone missing. They went up. They didn't go down. They went up. They went to, they're with different life form. They're saying they went up. So not everybody goes down. They went up. So they're saying the government has an understanding of, in a way, I want to call it a portal, because you can go up and you can go down, but there's many of these around the world. Many are still very much hidden, Spirit are saying. They all have not been found. They all have not been identified. Oh, okay. They all have not been identified by the public. They have by the government. Okay, where are we next? So let me see. Okay. No, Jacqueline, Jennifer asked that. If they were to come back, they can't come back. Spirit's saying they can't come back. They don't know how. They don't realize what's happened to them, if that makes sense. Okay, not all realize what's happened to them. They've said not all. The 300 souls, the 300 people on the boat went up. They didn't go down, they went up. Oh, okay. It is a time loop. It's a time zone. Spirit keep going on about the time zone. And it's, they've been telling me this about time zone, about this the Bermuda Triangle since last week when I was talking with Jennifer Rose. And I've been trying to understand and ask more questions about, you know, what they're saying is, so what Spirit are saying, when this happens, a lot of them don't realize they've just made that shift, and they don't realize that, you know, everything starts to settle down. It starts to come all right again. So they don't realize that they've switched. Well, what about the people up? What about the 300 you says that went up? Can we question that? Because why did... Okay, so we're talking ETs and things here now. Okay, so the different life forms, remember they said that the elevator, it's like many people use it, many dimensions, many different life forms use this. A limbo of sorts, wonder what they're experiencing. Life. As I'm not even finishing your question yet. As I'm reading that out, Spirit are saying to me, life. They experienced and continued on with their lives. They just didn't realize that they had slipped into a different time zone, a time zone in the sense like the parallel shifts. Okay, so Spirit are saying with the triangle. Okay, the Spirit are saying when that shifts happened, so when they were calling out and saying this ocean doesn't look familiar, and one of them did, it's on the records that it was flight, I think it was flight 19, or there was one of the ones that I called out earlier. They talk about familiar land, unfamiliar land below them, unfamiliar sea below them. Things look different. So they noticed something was different. And their machines and everything else. You're welcome, Jennifer. Their machines and things, you know, their directions. I'm really rubbish at that. Their guides. They all stopped working for a short time. So they disappeared from our dimension, but they slid on into another dimension. So that started work. Things started working. Okay, Spirit saying things started settling down, and they felt that was okay. I don't know what happened. It was like a glitch to them, a glitch in their equipment, a glitch in where, and they just slipped on in. So they didn't realize that we've switched. They just continued on with their life, and they didn't realize. They said the government knows this. There are so many more people, so many more boats, planes, so many more areas. Oh, okay. So I'm going to write that down until I finish reading Evelyn's. Oh. They're telling me. Okay. So, Evelyn, a limbo of sorts, wonder what they were experiencing. When I read that little bit of your message, Spirit said to me, life. So, yes, when something material goes inexplicably missing, as in our home, could it be a ley line issue, as in a wrinkle in time? It could. It could. When you know when you're spiritual, you know how you're changing your frequency and you're taking yourself to a higher level of frequency and vibration. When you're raising that frequency and vibration, okay. Spirit are saying we slip in and out very easily, but we're not always aware we're doing it. The more we do it, the more coming together. They're saying the more coming together. Oh, sorry. Let me catch up. Okay, so let me say, Arnie, a limbo of sorts, wonder what they're experiencing. Yes, okay, so we got that one. Like in the film Manifest. I haven't seen that, Claire. Is that what happens in the film? See, when we watch these films that are put on and they're about different things that happens to our world, we're too quick to say it's fiction. We're too quick to say it's just part of somebody's story. But Spirit tells me this all the time. See, our songwriters, our film, our book authors, they are channeling information, and they're channeling that the literature, the information that they're creating that film with, they're actually channeling as but not everybody's aware that they're channeling. So when you say like the film Manifest, it could well be. Is it? Okay. I got no. I haven't seen the film, Claire, so I'm not sure what it'd be, but I'm going to look at that now you said it. Will the people lost ever meet their loved ones again? No. No. If they carry on with life, okay. Okay. So when I read your question, I got no. So I wanted to question how can they carry on then but there's multiple layers of us. There's multiple layers of us. The more we become spiritual, the more we align with all of those, and they all start to come into one. They all start to come into one. They can never reappear again because they wouldn't have been alive in this lifetime. Okay, I understand. In their lifetime, they would have had to reappear again. Do you know what I mean? In all their lives, our lives is happening in multiple layers. Like what Spirit's explaining is they couldn't come back now because they've already lived their life. They've just switched lanes. Okay. Let me see. Oh, let me catch up on these messages. Okay. Let me see. Is it on a powerful ley line, and is it activated when it hits a certain frequency? Please come. Okay, so when I'm reading your question, Arnie, they're saying all timelines are ley lines. All timelines are ley lines. when it hits a certain frequency, please. Okay, they're talking about speed, and speed can create a frequency. Like, it can change the frequency. But where we're talking about with the Bermuda Triangle, go ahead, finish that, please. The lift exists. The lift exists. And when they said that there was more elsewhere, let me see, possibly they do not age because they are in another dimension, one where there is no time. The Spirit said they do age. They just, it's like switching lanes, and things come back and they don't realize it, to them it's been a glitch. A limbo of sorts, wonder what they're experiencing. So yes, when something material, yep, we got that one. We've got that one. Sorry, I'm doing the questions myself too. So I know we did this one, Jacqueline, but they don't. Okay, Spirit are saying they have never been away from their loved ones. They didn't. They just switched. They're saying that's it. They switched. So they might have been away from their loved ones in this dimension, but as they switched in the multiple lanes, they said they just lived life. They lived life. Let me see. When we open the 90% of our DNA, will we be able to create portals, I feel? We're already creating portals. Spirit said we are already creating portals. As we spiritually progress and our awareness builds, we're shifting many times ourselves, and we don't realize we're shifting many times, Arnie. Slipping in and out. Are the people lost happy? I got some. When I read your message, Jacqueline, Spirit said to me, some. Why is only some? That's very good. So I said to them, why is only some happy? And they said to me, well, are you happy all the time? Not all the time, no. Okay. Let me see. Within the loop, within the parallel, would be another dimensional loophole in the center. So I guess they went there in that dimension. When I read your message, Spirit are saying many dimensions. Many dimensions. Not one, but many, multiple. They're saying multiple. Spirit are saying multiple timelines. Multiple timelines coexist. We just choose to see what we feel is normal because that's what we have been told. We have created a sight for ourselves that is one-dimensional, when really it's not one-dimensional. It is multi-dimensional. How we choose to see that is our choice. And by doing so, we do that through our vibration. We do that through that opening awareness and that expansion. Go ahead, please. The life you create, the life we create, is one that you feel you have to. It's because we feel we have to be in control all the time. We have to be in control of that journey. Spirit are saying we have so much more to learn. We have so much more to learn. You're welcome, Jennifer. It's fascinating. I'm not even going to remember half the stuff I've told you. So I'm going to have to watch this back because I never remember anything that comes when I'm working spirit. I never remember. Okay. I understand that. Unfamiliar land under the sea. Yes. Lifetimes exist. When I read that, lifetimes exist. Go ahead. You're on a bit of a roll there, so keep going. Everything is the mirror image of what we create. I understand. A lot of people will understand that. Okay. Our consciousness, not the subconscious, our consciousness, it has like a built-in fail-safe that it's been trained as such to trap us, to teach us that we only have a one dimension. So they're saying the elites, the governments, they couldn't possibly control it if people knew all of the truth. They couldn't possibly control it all. Okay. Where are we? Yeah, the government knows for sure. And see, I wrote down because I knew I wouldn't remember. I'm just remembering. They said there was more of these. The triangles. The triangle, it's specifically the triangle for the 3 points. It needs to be a triangle, but within a circle, but within a square. That's really strange. A triangle within a circle, within a square. Triangle, circle. Why does it have to be like that? It alters the frequencies, it alters. So also they told us that there was many more of these and we just don't know about it. We just didn't know about it. Okay. Let me see. Judith, are you saying that their soul too goes with them and they stay there? Yes. Multi-traveling. They said multi-traveling. The soul can go anywhere. We shift many times. We all do. We shift many times. We all time travel. We're just not aware of it. We're shifting many times. They said to me about Turkey. There's one in Turkey. And is it Mount Jaro or Mount Kilimanjaro? There's one there. They said there's one in the mountains in Turkey. This is really interesting. Yes, I love it when spirits share all the information. So they haven't, there's like land points throughout the world. So there is. Those shows are exposing the truth part of it. Yes, they are 100%. But they take us as naive because they take it that we think it is just a play that's been written, that's been played out, when really the truth is in plain sight. Spirit always say the secrets are, there is no secrets. Everything is in plain sight. There is no mystery. We look at the mystery because we're trying to make a logic of it. We're trying to understand it. And Spirit are always saying that everything is in plain sight. There's no, there is nothing hidden. It's just plain and basic, and you're 100% on point with the shows. Look, go back 20 years, go back 30 years, and look at the sci-fi films that was out then, and about away in the future and the things that they were doing, electric cars. Well, we had electric cars back when Tesla anyway. But when you go back and you look at the programming, 100% predictive programming, soft disclosure, 100%. And do you know what? We're sitting here today and it's the 22nd of April 26. And you see 40 years down the line, 30 years down the line, it's going to come out that they knew about these things. They knew about all this. But it's all, look at the information now. They're trying to say, okay, we understand there is other life. We've evidence of other life forms. Of course, they've evidence of other life forms. They have for a very, very long time. Did they want us to know that? Absolutely not. Did they want us to think this was just futuristic sci-fi films? Yes. Has a lot of it now, or we're living in it? Yes. When you look 20, 30 years ago, 100%. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Yes, Manifest Seasons 1 to 4 is very much like this, except with a plane that comes across the bright light and disappears. Then several years later, the people return, but differently. Okay, I'm getting they can't. I'm getting they can't. And I can't change that because it's something Spirit gave. But I'm definitely going to have to watch this because I've never heard of it. But see what you're saying, a bright light. I'm seeing like big. It's like a white tunnel, but it's not a solid. It's not solid. But there's no water, nothing in it. It's just energy. It's just pure frequency, and it's like a tube which is created by energy and frequency. So that's quite interesting that you say the bright light. So it is, Claire. Parallel dimensions, universes. So what star planet is above the triangle? Well, now Taurus. I was just about to say to you, I don't know if Marcus is still on here. But me and Marcus have talked about this in the past because different things that we were doing. And they kept showing me the triangle. Spirit kept showing me the triangle. And they kept showing me about the constellations. And they talk about the constellations all the time. And I need to go back and look. Where have I wrote that down? I've put it down. But as soon as you said that, Spirit said Taurus. The triangle is connected to Taurus. As soon as you said, I read that, Claire. But I know this because they showed me it. And I'm trying to think what was it in connection with. I'm not sure if Marcus is still on here. If he is, he might remember and be able to say. But definitely, they're saying Taurus. There's a strong connection with Taurus. And don't forget, when we talk about Taurus, we also have when we talk about Taurus, we talk about also the energy, the Torah, the body, the Taurus. That's very interesting. Already creating portals. Yes, absolutely. On a daily, Spirit are saying on a daily basis. Absolutely, on a daily basis. Sometimes you can feel the shifts. Yes, you can. And Arnie, I don't know where you're from. If you're from the US or UK, but there's in Liverpool, over in mainland Britain, and there's a city, Liverpool, and there's a street, and I used to love going down it because of the history and the energy in it. It was absolutely crazy. And people, if you go on Bold Street, if you go on to TikTok or you go onto YouTube and you research Bold Street, I'll write it in here. Okay. So that's in Liverpool. Okay. Well, I used to go over and see our daughter in Liverpool, and I used to always say to her, I want to go to Bold Street. People have experienced time shifts on Bold Street, but in those occasions, they walked into one of the I think it was a restaurant or a cafe on Bowl Street, and when they walked in, they had went back to like the 1960s. But yet when they come back out through the door again, they were back in the present day. So there's different time shifts, and I walked that whole street because I wanted to feel the energy, and I wanted to feel the difference in the energy and how people were experiencing these episodes, these glitches. And there's so many of them recorded. So when you start at the bottom and you can feel the energy, and when you walk up, there's like there's a part where it's a crossroads. So there's two streets kind of come in, and then it's like a cross. See, when you hit the center part of where the crossroads is on Bowl Street, it's like magnified. The energy is so strong there. That's the strongest point from the top, from the whole street in the center at that crossroad junction. Really strong energy there, and there's many shifts happening there. Yes, Claire, absolutely. You can definitely feel the many shifts. Multiple, yeah. Yes, absolutely. Multiple. Spirit are saying, okay, Spirit are saying more than we could ever imagine. It's, what do you mean? There's just that, okay, can I ask you to explain a wee bit more before I give that? So it's not in, okay, so when I read your message, yes, multiple timelines do coexist. They said, yes, many, but not double figures. So I was asking them, what do they mean, not double figures? There's more than we could ever imagine. More than we could ever imagine. Everywhere, 100%, everywhere at once. Everywhere at once. Yes, that's correct. Yes. Very much so. There is so much to learn about the entire universe and parallel and dimensions and universal consumption of frequencies and vibrations. Exciting times. Yes. And you know, Spirit are saying we're ready for that now. We're ready for that now. We weren't before. I think we were too concerned about what other people thought of our opinions. Okay, that's going to be for another, that has to be for another sub. They've just said to me, Earth is not flat. And I'm saying to them, okay, well, we need to, okay, because I was going to say that needs to be a different topic, but they're bringing it into this topic. Again, they're bringing in the different layers and the different dimensions. Multiple. It's more than double figures, they're saying. Oh, that's a good one, Jacqueline. Can Spirit predict another plane, ship, or can another ship or plane going for missing? They're not telling me. They're trying to come forward and speak. And every time I stop talking and then they step back. When I read your message, can Spirit predict another ship or plane going missing? So when I read your message, I was also, and I would have to look this up. So what about 19? So this isn't a prediction. This is something that they're coming forward with, and I want to pass it. They're talking about June 89. What happened in June 89, please? So there's so much is not being talked about, so much is not being shared. There's so many different things happening in different parts of the world. The shifts, but what about 89? You said June 89. There's obviously a reason why you said June 89. Can I ask you why? Boat disappeared. I'll write that down. Check it out. Okay. So can we go back to Jacqueline's, please, if it be possible? Can you predict another ship or plane going missing? Not one that's crashed, but one that's one that's going to disappear. Please, can I ask, are you able to share with us any ship or flight or plane flight that will disappear, that's yet to come? That doesn't make sense. So they're saying to me it happens every day, and I'm saying to them that doesn't make sense. What do they mean by that? That doesn't make sense. Okay, so they're saying yes, they can. Can you tell us? Can you give us the prediction of when? Hold on now, let me just, please, can you give us the prediction? A date, a timeline, a month, a name. Please, can you share something with us that is yet to happen, but it's going to happen? I don't want to go back in time. I want to go forward. We want to go forward. Can you, I understand that, but can you go forward, please? Can you give us a prediction? Is that something that's going to disappear? Oh, okay. So I'm going to put this in, so because I'll not remember it. Okay, so they just said to me, June 26, flight disappear. Off radar. June 26, a flight will disappear off radar. Well, is it going to shift? It's going to... It's a passenger plane. They're saying passenger plane. From what I'm understanding, we have little control, yet we go create our reality. This is a real mind-stretching conversation. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm enjoying it too, Evelyn. You're welcome, Claire. Soft disclosures in movies. Yes. Yeah, they're planting the seeds. They're planting the seeds. The June 26th, it's going to be on the news. They're saying it's going to be on the news. Yes, that is correct. A triangle within a circle with the square. When you put it all together, yes. That's how Washington, that makes, yes. The triangle within a circle within a square. When you look at when you, what do you call them? The Masonic gentleman, and he shared all the secrets. I have his book down the stairs and I can't think of his name. When you look at the architect of Washington and what it was built on. So here we're seeing a triangle. They're showing you a circle within this on this stack, but it's not, right? So you've got the triangle. The triangle is within a circle, and that is within a square. There's more to the Bermuda Triangle. They just don't want us to know. They're just making it a point, making it look like a point of a triangle, to do with the triangle. Past, present, future. Could well be. Could well be. Yes. There are many pyramids within rock mountains and hilltops all over the world. There are, and there's some hasn't even been discovered yet. There's ones that we don't even know are there. Like when I was on with Jennifer Rose last week, look Exactly, ringthorn, exactly, stargates. When I was on with Jennifer last week, we were talking about, Spirit told me about 2-3 years ago that people we're too quick to say as above so below. We don't really get into it all. We're quite flippant about things because we like to just take what we're told, and we like we're not all like this. We're not all wanting to do find out and dig in. And they showed me, they said the stars was a roadmap. The constellations, the stars, they were a roadmap of the earth. If you were to lay all the star structures flat against a map of the earth, it would all line up with different like towns, different cities, hidden, lots of hidden. And the Taurus and the triangle is really strongly connected. Really strongly connected. And you can look when you go on to because me and Marcus did this, when you go on to the solar system and you're looking at the different, and you can see there's the triangle is there. So now we want to look and we want to see the triangle with the circle with the square. Stargates, absolutely, absolutely. Let me see. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if there are pyramids underneath pyramids. There is. So they've showed me that too. So they've showed, I've drew this for Marcus. So they showed me, let me see. So they showed me that the pyramid above has a pyramid below. And they said, remember the reflection. Because we're seeing it as a solid object, because we're seeing as in our 3D density, we're seeing that, but it's a everything has a reflection. Everything is that it has the same, it's the same pyramid below it. We're just not seeing that. But yes, 100%. When they show me a pyramid, they show me a diamond with a separation in the center. Drip, drip, feed. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, Arnie. My guides call it a roadmap. The stars are a roadmap of the earth. And it's all there. Everything is there for us. But we don't always dig in. I wonder if pyramids are two sacred sites and ruins. What do you mean, Claire? If they're sacred sites and ruins, like portals, what way do you mean? I wonder if pyramids are like a portal to sacred sites. Here, oh, you're in New York, Arnie. Okay, here in New York and parts of Eastern Long Island have very active ley lines activity. Yes, do you know? Spirit took me down this road years ago, and I've loved it ever since because I didn't know anything about it, and I thought, God's honest truth, I didn't understand all my ley lines. I didn't understand all that, and they took me on this journey, and they started to show me the Arc de Triomphe, and I was like, "Why are you showing me the Arc de Triomphe? I don't understand what's Arc de Triomphe got to do with it." So then they took me across, and they showed me a pyramid, the Louvre Museum, and they said, from Arc de Triomphe to there is connected. And I must look at this again, the shape of this on the map, and see what way you look at it. But then they said from Arc de Triomphe to the Pyramid Museum. And then they said to me, French Square. And I thought, does France have a square? In what way do they mean? And when I went to look to see, okay, Spirit's guiding me, let me understand what they're trying to show me. And I was asking them, and they kept telling me to look, to research it, to pay attention with the proper eyes, not glance at it. And to my amazement, you've got the Arc de Triomphe Then you've got the Pyramid Museum, the Louvre, or I can never say that right. And then you've got this down here, on further down, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it used to be called the French Square. And Spirit were linking them all together. So they started from the Arc de Triomphe, they moved to this pyramid, and then they went to the French Square. And they said all that was very important. We are not seeing everything that is in place for us. Like the ley lines, what you're saying about the activity, there's so many more. And all these different landmarks, they're all really, and the same as in the ocean, the same as within the ocean. The ocean is not what we think. They're saying the ocean is not what we think. I wonder if there are pyramids underneath sacred sites or ruins possible, right? Please can we ask, Claire would like to know, is there pyramids underneath sacred sites, ruins? Please can you share any of that with us, please? The ley lines, everybody's understanding the ley lines more. Before, what was that, please? Before. I'm not getting that, but before what, please? Say that again. Before, people thought it was a lot to do with myth. We understand that. We understand that. Time travelers come and go. But so, okay, I went to ask your question again, Claire, and they said to me pyramid, circle, square. So around the sacred sites or ruins is pyramid, circle, square. Did the ETs know about the missing craft people? Did they assist the people in any? That's where they went. They went up there, Jennifer. The 300 people. They said the 300 people went up. Not everybody went down. Some went up. And they're saying to me the 300 people went up. They're saying some were scared. Some don't understand. Some were scared. Some don't understand. They were saying something that was very beyond what they could comprehend. In what way was that, please? People don't always understand that the way we want to share the truth, sometimes people think it becomes very, very cryptic and very, very unique, but it's not in that sense. If we were to say every single thing and every little detail, what would you want to experience in life? What would you want to understand? Go ahead, please. Go ahead, please. Truth is irreversible. Once you see and once you know. So they're showing me people coming and people going. Not everybody comes back. Not everybody comes back. Did the assistant? So they do talk about research, and my voice keeps trying to go now. They do talk about research. They do talk about the different life forms, but they're not all in a bad way. The different life forms is there. We're learning from each other. We're learning from each other. Some of the life forms have went before us. They have went to try and help teach and show other life forms. We're all teaching each other, but it's being done in a bigger way than we could ever imagine. It's not the little I'm saying little, but it's not little because there's so many people. Those are 300 people, but the little, it's little to us what we're saying, but it's in a much faster, bigger scale. much faster, bigger scale than we could ever imagine. They're assisting each other. They assisted each other. And they're talking about medicines, understanding medicines. My voice keeps trying to go. I'm not clearing my throat, guys. You can come with cord if you're going to. Taurus connects to Venus. Oh, that's interesting. Taurus connects to Venus. But we also have to remember when we talk about the human body too, Jennifer, we have a Taurus go up the spinal, up our spinal flow. We have a Taurus. So we have that portal within us. And we are constantly traveling and shifting as we work with that Taurus and we work with that vibration and we work with that energy. Spirit are saying we're constantly shifting and we don't even realize we're shifting back and forth. It's happening on multiple occasions. Okay. That's interesting. Taurus connects to Venus. And Venus we talk about Venus as the planet of love. And I don't know what color Venus is, but as you say that, I keep seeing a gray planet, just plain gray planet as you say that. Claire, I believe when planes and ships go missing, it must be when the timing is right with certain events that happen through the year. Well, when you look at the clusters, and you're very correct in that sense, Claire, because I researched this, because when I was asking first about this subject with Spirit and my guides, they talked about time zones. Time zones was very relevant, okay? Time zones was much more relevant. And when you research, now I didn't research everything, but I researched some of the incidences of flights and of boats that have disappeared. And every single one, there's not a mathematical pattern to them. I've tried to find a mathematical pattern. There isn't one, but there is clusters. There's clusters of 4 years and 20 years, and then another 4 years. So they come in clusters. I've been able to find that pattern. So there is a link, and they talk about, January to March. So the energy is very different in January to March. The energy in January to March is much heavier than it would be in the likes of going on into spring, because the spring equinox, things is changing, the shifts, the patterns, the energy, the frequencies, they're all changing. Then we go back into summer and autumn, and with every season, the frequencies and the energies is changing. So we're constantly shifting. So there is a link there. There is a pattern there with clusters, but all of the recorded missing planes and missing boats have all disappeared between the months of January and March. So that's really interesting. For example, the frequency must have changed, altered, tampered with, yes, to make boats, planes disappear. So it must have to be when a certain event happens within the universe. Timelines, Spirit have just said again, timelines. Can I ask you to explain more about that? Because we understand the shifts happening, but it's seasonal. It's connected to the seasons in some way, Claire. It's not a hidden, so Spirit are saying it's not a mystery. Everything is there. Everything that we want to understand has been recorded. It's just we have chosen not to look to the simple patterns and the simple connections. So it is seasonal, and seasonal is with the frequencies, the energies, and it's all connected with the shifts. It's 100% right. That makes sense. That also affects the ocean and the current frequency. Yes, absolutely, it does. June 26th. No, so that's the message I got. June 26th, flight will disappear. Okay. And I want again, they've just said to me it's a passenger flight. It's a passenger flight. Pike. What do you mean, Ring of Thorn? I love the name 17. Every time I write it, it's 17. Albert Pike. Ah, okay. With you now. Interesting. Interesting. You also have the hexagon within the triangle too. Yes. But so Spirit are saying the circle, the triangle, and in the square. They haven't mentioned the hexagon. Please can we talk about the hexagon within the triangle too? Yeah. So they're saying yes, but they don't need that for what they're talking about here. What they're talking about here, the portals, is triangle with the square, triangle, the circle, and the square. So what's the hexagon for, please? Distributing energy. Distributing energy. In what way? Are we still up the Bermuda Triangle? Or are we moving into something else? Also, before I forget, they talked about, and this is something that I would have to look up because I don't know. But this is what I love about Spirit. I love them to give the information. And then when you go to try and research it, it's like, wow, they were 100% on point. Jennifer, June 11, 1989, a plane with 10 tourists went missing in Hawaii. Perfect. Thank you so much for checking that out. There's also, will you check out 1986, Jennifer? They're talking about 1986. Was there a boat went missing? Either 86 or 89. But there you go. I love that. Thank you. You've just literally done what I do. After I finish working with Spirit, I look at information they've given me and think, I need to check this out. This is mad. But I'm really on this path with you. And I go and I check it out, and I'm always in awe. I'm always in awe of Spirit because they share it. So in 1989, in June 89, because when we were on this live, Spirit said June 89, a plane with 10 tourists went missing in Hawaii. Has there been a boat went missing, either 86 or 89? I'm also getting 86. So there's lots about different parts of the world. This is what Spirit's saying. We're being made to believe that the Bermuda Triangle, thank you so much, we're bringing it all back in now. Spirit are trying to say to us what we're being shown as the Bermuda Triangle being a mystery of the world. It's not on its own. There is multiple around the world, and there is multiple vessels, and these disappearances are happening multiple times, but we are not putting the two and two together. The Dylan Monroe map, I believe you mean, Judith. Are you talking about the young boy, Arnie? I think it was last year or the year before. He discovered an ancient Mayan village by the constellations. Spirit had told me that good 2 years before that came out. And I've been saying to people, the stars are the roadmap of the earth. There's so much. And they talk about water. They talk about water above. Spirit always say, people want to think water is just here. Water is on this level surface. But they talk about the water above. And not everybody gets that, because they'll go, what do you mean water above? But there's water above. Spirit talk about water above. Okay. Please elaborate more on the ocean is not what you think. Okay. Please can we ask, what do you mean that the ocean is not what we think? You said about the ocean it's not what we think. Can you elaborate on that, please, and help us understand in what way is it not what we think? Multiple layers. Multiple layers. Okay. But there's life forms under the sea. Life. Oh, we're going into a whole different. So, okay. So they're talking about the different life forms in under the sea. Are you talking about inner Earth? No, not as one solid. There are many, many layers, and the many layers lead to different many platforms. It's like a lift with your train, your train. You're getting off at different stations, and they're showing me that in many layers. The Earth is not flat. It does not spin. It is multiple layers of multiple dimensions. It's how we choose to see it. But can we give us more about the ocean, maybe in and around the where the Bermuda is situated? Can you explain more about the oceans there, please? So they're talking about the governments and they're talking about scientists and they talk about the different life forms within the ocean, and they understand that the powers within the ocean. There's many within the ocean. What do you mean by the strength of the different life forms and the different dimensions? So they don't want us to know that we walk amongst the daily. That there are multiple. They're saying hundreds, okay? They're saying not double figures. They're saying hundreds of different life forms. They're showing me all these different layers. But also, as we go up, there's all these different layers. We're multiple galaxies. They're saying it's so big to fathom. You're welcome. They're so big to fathom. Is the ocean a currency, energetic field, creating, generating frequencies? That's pretty cool, Arnie. That's pretty cool, because it's like Spirit said, everything is in plain sight. It's just how we choose to perceive it. Spirit talk about, my voice keeps trying to change. Spirit talk about the trajectory and the objectory. The trajectory to us is what we're being asked to believe. It's what we're being asked to accept. And the trajectory is on us, and that is their objectory. We need to turn that table and we need to have our own trajectory and be open to the visions that's around us. We choose not to see it. Currency, 100%. There's so many. Everything is like that. Everything. You're so on point, Arnie. Could be a starship that took them at that moment when frequencies and vibrations of the universe changed to allow galactic beings through to take them. The galactic beings are with us more than we ever possibly know. We're walking amongst, we're being visited by galactic beings. We are part of our lineage is galactic beings, Claire. It's amazing. Like, we have multiple star seeds within our own makeup of our DNA, and we don't look into that enough. But we have so many layers within us and not just our dimensions, but within our lineage, within our DNA. Could it be that these people were numbered, picked, or chosen to just vanish and be taken to perhaps create another world. Please, can I ask, Spirit, please, could these people have been picked or chosen that vanished to help perhaps create another world? Or what exactly were they doing, please? So not all are going up. The ones that go up are being picked, okay? But it's not just happening in the Bermuda Triangle, Claire, that when the people are going up, they're not being, people are being chosen that go up. The people who go down, the shifts. There's two things going on here. There's shifts with the parallels, but there's also like the what did you call it, Arnie? The spiritual, like a spiritual elevator. And when we go up, we're being chosen in the sense that we have much to teach them and they have much to teach us. We should not be scared of them all. Some are not nice. Most are. We're going to be told they're all not nice, but that's what people want us to believe, that we're all not nice. They're not all nice. Even people just vanish, like the Wolfman story. He was struck with lightning. He was very, very spiritual, but didn't feel he belonged in this world. He had drawn pictures of different events. Yes. And look at the lady who and she's documented, she's shared her story about when she was a young child in Egypt. She used to talk about, she was a very important, I can't remember her name now, but it's well documented, you can research it. And they talk about, oh gosh, guys, we're going to have to finish up in a second. We're really pushing past our time. She was growing up, she described the insides of the pyramids, the tombs. She was able to draw a map and show exactly where everywhere, every left, every right, where everything was, where the artwork on the walls was, what the artwork on the walls was, what was within them tombs. She was able to go back and she completely understood the other parallel life that she had come through. And they put her to the test, and they got her to draw a map, and they followed her, and she was 100% on point. And so they buried her. They weren't allowed to bury her in the pyramids. So when the lady died, they buried her close to the pyramids, exactly like they would have done when they were in the pyramids. She remembered it all, and she described it all, and it was amazing. Her story was fascinating. Yes, we shift all day. Absolutely, Jennifer. We shift so many times. So many times. Okay, let me see. We're going to have to. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. I'll be re-listening to this, much to wrap my mind around. Evelyn, do you know what I'm going to tell you? I don't know half of what I've told you. I'm going to have to listen to this back too, because I've very much been channeling Spirit's messages and their information that they want to share. And this was the whole point. This is what I just loved about this. Everybody just kept asking the questions, and Spirit are just coming forward, so that it's very much definitely your podcast and Spirit's podcast. And this is what it should be. I really want to give Spirit this place and you this place. I don't think anyone has ever gone to the darkest depths of the ocean. There are many layers of the ocean. Consciousness is above and so below. There's a reason why humans can't get to it. Yes, it's the same as the Antarctic and the white and the ice wall and all. We're being limited. We're being limited to what they want us to know. But remember, they said to remember this date. 30, 40 years from now, this is all going to come out. They're all going to admit that they have all of this. Hi, Kim. And they're going to share it all. No Illuminati map. Spirit said, no, that's used to scare us. That's used to create fear. It's all an illusion. It's all an illusion. Arnie, Spirit just said it's all an illusion. Try and finish some of these questions now before we have to finish. The deepest, darkest depths of the universe, many species and creatures and beings and crafts. Absolutely, Claire. Absolutely. Okay. Yes, water above, fluid. Yes, I say this to different people and they go, you can't have water up there. I 100% trust my spirit team unconditionally. And they have said to me, there is water above. It's not all below. There's water above. So is this what you mean when you say the ocean is more than we think it is? Ah. Okay, so I didn't even get to ask that. Spirit they were starting to show me. Please, can I ask what it is you're trying to show me? There's many layers of the oceans, Evelyn. There's many layers of the oceans, but yes, ocean. There's water above. Everything. It's like a mirror. It's a reflection. So everything is here, like the constellations, like the stars. Every single thing is here as a reflection to show that what is above is below. It's like the pyramids. It's like the reflection, as above, so below. There, one cannot exist without the other. Everything within our land, everything that's within our world must have a reflection, because that is how the world works. Everything has a reflection. There's two of. Everything has a reflection. So as above, so below. Yes. Yes. And I heard Spirit trying to come forward there. This has been really fascinating. I did not know how this podcast would go. Different realms of existence. Many, Evelyn, many. Absolutely. Any people of great importance, scientists, etc., on these planes, when they go missing, me wonders, we're running out of time, but Spirit, can we quickly ask, is there anybody important? I keep getting Buddy Holly. There's something about, when I asked your question, they're talking about Buddy Holly. I think he was in a plane crash, but I want to give Buddy Holly. There's a connection between what you have said, Ringo Thorn, and Buddy Holly. That's interesting. I need to write that down because I'll not remember that either. That's really interesting. I need to have a look at that too. Buddy Holly. Yet another elevator system. Yes, they've just said throughout the world. Now you're starting to understand. They've just said to me, now we're starting to understand. Yet many different layers, as above, so below. 100%, Claire. Absolutely 100%. Arnie, your mind is razor sharp on point. Absolutely. Yes. 3 planes went missing in 1986. A ship sank near the Bermuda Triangle, but found. Space shuttle also exploded in 1986. There we go. Spirit is on point again. Thank you so much, Jennifer, for checking that out for me. I am so, so grateful. But that just shows us, so Spirit are trying to validate the information that they have gave us tonight with this podcast. So Jennifer, you have validated what Spirit has been bringing forward tonight with the dates and the information that has went missing. And I'm really, really grateful for you doing that. Spirit keeps trying to come forward to you. That was really, really good. 1986 was one of the worst years of my life. Just say, I'm so sorry to hear that, Kim. So I'm truly sorry to hear that. So the people that go missing, their vibration level depends if they go higher or lower. So the people that go missing, their vibration level depends if they go higher or lower. Not always. Spirit said not always. And here's something for you, Arnie. And this is I do prophetic news with Marcus. And this is in one of the predictions that Spirit gave And I never doubt. I just pass. Does I no matter how out there it sounds, I trust and I pass, because I know it'll all make sense in time. And Spirit said about the children, all the missing children. They talked about lots of missing children starting to come back. Missing children starting to come back. And I felt that was to do with going up. They talked about that. It's actually on one of my episodes of Prophetic News on YouTube. I just can't remember which episode. Yes, government controls absolutely everything. They need to create the fear. They need to create that fear, because that's the only way they can control us. That's how they create the narrative. And we need to just step outside that box and trust. Trust. Doesn't matter how out there it sounds, because that's what they want us to think. They want us to think that's just so out there. Thank you, Arnie. I will. And, I'm so grateful. I'm going to have to finish up. Kim, thank you. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. Please do. I'm going to. I know Spirit tried to come forward and speak a few times themselves tonight, but I just haven't probably shut up. So, hi, Carla, how are you? So grateful they're working through you, deepest heart. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful. Thank you, Evelyn. I'm really, tonight when I started the podcast, I'll be honest, okay, we've went a bit longer and won't be as long the next time. But I want to say, Ring of Thorn, watch the water. Yeah, the water is it holds many secrets. Watch the water, but watch the skies. We're too busy like this. And Spirit said to me 2 years ago, people need to stop looking like this, and they need to start paying attention to what's in the sky. We're not paying attention. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Claire. Thank you. So before I finish, guys, this is your podcast. This is Spirit's podcast. Thank you so much, Ring of Thorn. That's truly grateful. Thank you. So I'm throwing. Thank you, Jennifer, for validating those dates and the information that Spirit gave, and that's their way of validating everything they have gave tonight. Personally, for me, 100%, I will have to watch this back, because when I come off, I won't remember what Spirit has passed tonight. So for me, I need to watch the show back to hear all the information that Spirit has passed tonight. Water holds memory both above and below. Absolutely. Our tissues, our blood cells, our muscles, everything holds memory. Everything is a living organism. A stone, a stick, a blade of grass, everything is a living organism. That's actually a name of a film too. Watch the water. See, Spirit have always said that everything is in plain sight. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden. Everything is very simple. We complicate it. We complicate it because we're told to complicate it. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I wasn't sure what way, whether Spirit would talk, and I feel going forward, Spirit will come forward and talk more. I know they're trying to come through tonight. I'm still very much developing that direct voice, and I'm never afraid to say I'm always a student. I always want to be that student, because that's the best person to be, is the student. So, see, Jennifer, that's your validation. When you talked about the missing children coming back, yes. I don't know what episode it is in, because, again, with Prophetic News, I remember nothing that I have predicted, although it's 85-90% of it's came true already. There's still stuff that's happening this year is all going to happen, and it's still on Prophetic News, and I have predicted it. But there's information there like Saddam Hussein's not dead. The DNA was old DNA. He's living in Europe with one of the son. The son's not dead, and they're in Europe. There's so much. So what I would like to ask is, thank you, Jennifer. You really, do you know what? I'm really glad that you did that. And I'm really thankful that you did that, because that's Spirit's way of validating the dates and everything, that what we talked about tonight was very much on point, and it was true. The information coming forward was true. Taking off the world to be healed could well be. The Spirit said the children are coming back. I don't know what episode of Prophetic News it is. You would need to watch from episode 1 of Prophetic News and go through the different episodes. But it's like there's revelations in there. There's information in there. They talk about the night skies. People weren't paying attention. They talk about the tsunamis that's coming. They talk about, there's so much. There's still yet to come true. So I just don't know what episode it's in. It's like this. I don't know everything I've spoke about tonight because it was Spirit's messages. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. So can I ask if any of you have a really good idea what topic would you really like to cover in the next fortnight? Is there one that's really like standing out that we can talk to Spirit about and we can discuss and be open, chatted, talk openly? Is there anything in particular that you would like to hear? ET disclosure. Oh, yeah. Yep. We could, yep. There's nothing off the table, guys. History. History is lies. I just got, as I read your message, I got history is lies. ET history. Okay. Anything else? So we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. And if it does well, I'll maybe come on every week and see how history is his story. Yes, Arnie. Yes. See, for too long, if we had a spoke like this, people would have thought their head's gone. They're not with it. But people are waking it up more and more and more, and see everything that they said was that's true, that was true, and all this in the past, and now it's all coming out that no, it wasn't true and it was lies. And so 100%, what I would say to everybody who's left on here, go and look at the map, look at the Arc de Triomphe, the Louvre Museum, and what used to be called the French Square, and I think it's nearly in a triangle. I actually, if you go on, it's go on and look, and you'll see it's pretty cool. But yeah, his story, everything is like that. Arnie, you're 100% on point. This mimic grid is done. Yeah, we know too much now. Also, the 13 UFO people that were suicided or missing would be interesting. Yeah. 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 He is. Well, guys, we'll talk about, so we'll do extraterrestrials next fortnight. I'll share this onto my Facebook so that you can take time and watch it back, because there's so much has been said. I actually don't know everything that I have passed, but I will 100% stand over and trust Spirit 100%, no matter how out there it sounds. I know that if they said it, it's all a reason, and we need to pay attention to it. We need to pay attention to it. And they're talking about the clouds. That's for another night, guys. But remember, Arc de Triomphe, the Pyramid Museum, and what used to be called it's not called it now, so you need to Google it, French Square. That the link is really, really important. So it is really important. So guys, for tonight, I'm going to have to say thank you so much for joining me, for making this podcast, for spending this platform with Spirit, for asking your questions and giving them your time. I am really, really grateful, and I know Spirit is very, very grateful. So we will definitely do ET disclosures next fortnight, and we will throw it open again. We will open any question. There's nothing off the table. This is the whole point, for you to interact with Spirit, and hopefully as we go forward, Spirit will come and speak themselves. And it's their platform. I'm very much teamwork makes the dream work, and it's very important for me to give them that space. But also, it's your podcast where you ask the questions and you seek the answers. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. Thank you. At the beginning, I was nervous. This is my first time doing the podcast on my own, and I wasn't sure what way Spirit wanted it to go, but I just trusted. So I'm truly, truly grateful for you joining me, and I'm truly grateful. So I'm going to say good night for now. And remember, nothing is as it seems. There is so much hidden layers to everything. Thank you so much, Arnie. Thank you. I'm truly grateful. Thank you. Thank you, Evelyn. Thank you. Thank you. I am truly grateful. Next week, we will have to keep it a bit shorter, but it's so fascinating to talk and be able to share openly and not care who judges us, because that's the whole point, is trusting Spirit and trusting everybody. And that's why we're here, to seek the answers and for Spirit to share. So I'm truly, truly grateful. So for tonight, I have to say good night, but thank you with all my heart. I'm truly, truly, truly grateful. Good night, guys. Good night.